Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Nature's Horror Stories. It's been a while since I did one of these. Tonight's little monster is another denizen of the deep and is deservingly feared by crabs everywhere. Their name is Rhizocephala, and they have come to change your very being. While they are barnacles, I wouldn't blame you for not noticing, or even knowing they're an animal. As juveniles, the males and females look essentially identical. They start out life as a nauplius larva, much the same as other decapods, and the reason we know they are barnacles, before developing into cyprids. It is at this point that male and female lose any and all resemblance to one another. While the male remains a cyprid and freely swims throughout the ocean in search of females, the female instead searches for a crab to make her lifelong host. Upon finding a poor crab, they are presented with a problem. Crabs are covered in a tough exoskeleton known as a cuticle, and it is this cuticle that the arthropods call their mobile stronghold. While it remains impervious to direct penetration by a rhizocephalan, it has its weak points. Setae, hair-like structures that serve a multitude of roles, such as touch, smell, taste, or sometimes defense. However, any defense provided by the setae is ultimately futile against an adversary as determined as a female cyprid, as it produces a kentragon larva which, by means of a stylet, injects its parasitic tissue directly into the point at which the cuticle gives way to a seta. Once the tissue has entered the body, it begins to feast upon nutrients flooding through the decapod's body. You see, a rhizocephalan has no digestive system. It has no appendages to move. Its host has both items listed, so it has done away with them on its own form. Instead, the tissue grows like roots throughout the crab, infiltrating its various organ systems and stealing the nutrients the crab has already digested. After some time, the tissue begins to grow on the underside of the crab, taking the position that eggs would have once occupied and looking like a bizarre fungal growth. There are a few behavioral changes the rhizocephalans inflict upon their crustaceous hosts, one of which is preventing them from molting. As they are now growing on the outside of the crab's body, a molt would result in the barnacle being removed from the crab, preventing it from feeding. So instead, the rhizocephalan stops the crab from molting its exoskeleton. Another diabolical trait is castration of the crab, preventing them from ever spreading their genes again. That way, the host will never be able to have its own eggs take the barnacle's place. On top of this, the host's mind is altered, being led to believe the barnacle itself is a clutch of eggs, and is coaxed into defending the parasite that siphons their food and effectively turns them into a dead crab walking. Or swimming, whatever. But there is one question that remains. What happens if a rhizocephalan chooses a male crab? Because males do not carry eggs. They should have no reason to defend any growth on their underside. This is where the barnacle's most dastardly trick comes into play. The parasite alters the hormones inside a male crab's body, causing them to act as a female would, tricking them into protecting the parasite that feeds on them. Essentially, it's forced crab feminization. Just nobody tell Alex Jones about this. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've got a creepy critter you think deserves a video to itself, leave me a comment about it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all have yourselves a good one, and I hope you learned something.